Welcome back to Inside the Paddock, episode number 17 today. F1 is in its mid-season break, so we're going to have some games that we're going to do today. We got some F1 trivia, and we're going to do some games to see who will win our draft for the remainder of the 2023 season. So this should be a fun episode. Let's get into it. Welcome back to Inside the Paddock. No race to talk about today, but we're going to do some trivia and other games for you guys to pass the time over the summer break. I believe, Kenji, you're going to kick us off with our first event today, and what do you got for us?
Yeah, so I have like a points draft game. So basically what this game is you two, so Tim and Charlie, you guys are going to pick teams that you think will, like a lineup of teams you think will score the most number of points to the end of the season. So first of all, some rules. So you can't pick Red Bull because I think that would be like an automatic win. So no Red Bull. Once a team has been picked by either competitor, you can't pick it again. So I don't know, if Charlie picks Mercedes, Tim, you can't pick Mercedes. You have to pick like a different team. And you guys are going to have 9 teams to pick from. So you'll pick like a lineup of 4 or 5 teams. So I guess we'll draw to see who picks first. So I'll pick a number between 1 and 10, and whoever's closer gets the first pick.
Wait, Kenji, what if you do it too and we just all pick 3 teams so that we don't leave someone out? Or did he just want us two to do it?
Well, I was thinking about doing that, but like I think it would be kind of, it wouldn't really work because there's tiers of teams basically. Yeah, there's like tiers of teams. So there's like Aston, Ferrari, Mercedes, and McLaren, which is true. One tier.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, it wouldn't really work. So just wanted to do 2 competitors. I think that would be better.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, we'll kind of do our draft lottery here. So I'll pick a number between 1 and 10, and whoever's closer gets the first pick.
I'll take 4.
I'll take 6.
And it was 8. So Tim, you got the first pick in our draft. So Charlie, don't worry. I'm going to give you an extra chance. So of course there's 9 teams. So Tim, you'll have 4 teams to pick, and Charlie, you'll have 5. It'll just kind of alternate. So Tim will pick first, Charlie will pick second, and then Tim will pick again, and so on and so forth. All right, you guys ready?
Yeah. All right, I'm going to start off with the Mercedes.
All right, good pick. I think that's the comfortable one. I'm gonna go with McLaren. I think they didn't have a great race last weekend, but I think they have the most potential. Maybe they have a strong driver lineup, and they seem to be on the uprise, while the other 2 are not seemingly to be progressing much.
Yeah. I don't know. It's between either Aston or Ferrari for me. And I'm going to go with the Ferrari just because I feel like Aston was good the first half of the season, but they've been on a decline, especially Stroll. So I think that Leclerc and Sainz could put it together better.
And that leaves me to take... I'm going to go with Aston Martin. I don't think they'll slip below this level. Stroll has been disappointing, but Alonso has still been great. And I think he will continue to be pretty good for the rest of the year. So I'll take Aston Martin.
Solid. I kind of want to take the Alpine, but they haven't scored 2 points in a row. Yeah, I'll take the Alpine. I mean, they've had their bad choice of luck, but they're better than any of the other 4 teams behind them if they can pull together a race weekend where they don't crash into each other.
I think I gotta take Williams here. They probably have the best driver out of the last 8 drivers remaining, and they have a strength at least. The other teams, they're all just kind of mid. At least we know the Williams will be very good in a straight line, and yeah, so I'll take Williams.
All right, so I'm going to pick one, and then I think Charlie gets the other 2. I'm going to go with the AlphaTauri, Yuki Tsunoda, and Daniel Ricciardo together. I mean, Tsunoda's already put together a couple of points finishes, so I think he can probably keep it up, maybe get a couple more, and then maybe Ricciardo can sneak a couple. The Haas is good in qualifying, but they're notoriously bad in the race, so I don't trust them.
Yeah, and then I got Haas and Alfa Romeo. Haas, yeah, good in qualifying, but seem to be always just horrible in the race. Alfa Romeo, I'm kind of happy with though. Bottas and Zhou are kind of. I think that they had a better car, they'd be putting up some pretty good performances. Obviously, they had a really good pace at one track, I think Hungary, and then it went poorly in the race for them. But yeah, I think they're both pretty good drivers, and they always seem to find themselves around 11th, 12th, 13th place at the end of the race on Sunday. So they should be able to get a couple points throughout the rest of the season.
All right, and that concludes the 2023 F1 mid-season draft. So just as a reminder, Tim, he chose teams Mercedes, Ferrari, Alpine, and AlphaTauri. And for you, Charlie, you chose McLaren, Aston Martin, Williams, Alfa Romeo, and Haas. So yeah, honestly, Tim, I'm kind of surprised you took Alpine at 5. If it was me picking, I'd probably take Williams at 5.
Really?
So yeah, because I think Williams, like we're coming to Italy, which we know is probably one of the stronger tracks for Williams because of their straight line speed. And yeah, I think they could get a very good result. I think just one, like 5th or 6th place will probably give them enough to beat Alpine. And I think they definitely have a chance to take that. But I get what you're seeing, or I get kind of your reasoning for Alpine as well.
Yeah. I think they've just had a stroke of bad luck. They've gotten a couple like double points finishes, but they've probably had more double DNFs than that. So I see your point though. Albon has put together some solid weekends, and hopefully Sargent could do the same.
We have another race in Austin in November, so maybe he does well there in his home race.
And Vegas.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Vegas might be good for Williams too because of the big like straights and stuff, but just it'll have to be seen, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Moving on.
Who's up next?
Kenji, don't you have another one? Or
I do. I have a silly season predictions game.
Okay, I think that might
You
be
guys
good
want to do that next?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Okay. Great.
So I think the F1 or Instagram account put out a 2024 driver lineup guaranteed thing.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, some of those can be changed, but this can kind of give us an outline, right? If you want to pull this up.
Yeah, I kind of took that to count the number of seats that we have outstanding. So, yeah. So right now, the seats that are outstanding that don't really have a driver that's signed on yet. The list is 1 at Mercedes, 2 at Haas, 2 at AlphaTauri, 1 at Williams, and 1 at Alfa Romeo. So again, this is for 2024. And of course, there might be seats that already have a driver sign on that change as usual. But yeah, so there's 6 seats outstanding, and both of you have to pick 6 drivers who will take these seats. In addition, for 3 of the seats, you have 2 chances to pick the driver. So this can be for any set of 3 seats you want. So, yeah.
All right. Yeah.
So do we just go through team by team, say if we want to keep it the same, or if it is missing one, then
Right. So we'll just go team by team, and you have 3, as I mentioned, you have 3 like teams that you can pick 2 drivers for. So kind of the wild card, I guess.
got it.
Yeah. So first up, I guess, is Mercedes.
Can we both say the same person?
Yeah, you can say the
Okay.
same person.
Well, I think Hamilton's keeping that seat.
Yeah, I'm going with Lewis Hamilton to return. Pretty predictable thing. I don't think he's leaving that team.
Yeah.
Why do you guys think he's taken so long to like sign on, I guess, or to re-sign with Mercedes?
I feel like he's done this other years where it's like questionable, right? So I don't know. I think it's just contract negotiations. This happens in every sport. Like players will hold out until someone gets a deal they want. I doubt it's the same with this, but he's probably just there's no rush. He knows the seat will be his, and that if he doesn't act quick, like they're not gonna swap him out.
Yeah, and it could be like he could honestly be contemplating not coming back and perhaps just retiring, as he is one of the older drivers on the grid. But I think Hamilton will be back. He's clearly still has it, and yeah.
All right, so you both took Hamilton for Mercedes, which makes sense. So our next seat
1 sec.
are...
Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear y'all.
Okay, so the Zoom just got signed out. So can you still see us?
I can still see you guys, yeah.
That's weird.
I can still hear you,
Oh, wait,
everything
okay,
like that.
yeah, my bad.
We're back.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're good?
Yes,
Yeah,
we're fine.
Okay, we'll just cut that out when
All right,
we
yeah.
do the thing.
For sure.
All
Go
right,
ahead.
so you guys took Lewis Hamilton for the seat at Mercedes, which makes a lot of sense. I would probably do it too. Our next 2 outstanding seats are the 2 seats at Haas. So who you guys got?
I'm gonna say Magnussen keeps one of them. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised to see that. The Hulkenberg seat is what I'm not sure about.
I think Hulkenberg will be back. He's been very good this year. Magnussen, I also think will be back, but I think he's a little bit more on the hot seat. I'm going to say they both stay. I think teams are more inclined, at least right now, to just stick with proven drivers that they know are good than to go to a younger counterparts. And we already saw that with Haas when they chose to cut Mick Schumacher in favor of a more experienced Nico Hulkenberg. So I think that they will probably stick with more veteran drivers. A team that doesn't have a lot of resources, they want to have guys that they'll know will kind of know how to drive the car and will not waste any money like Mick did, and Mazepin for that matter, I guess.
That's a good point. I think I'll stick with Hulkenberg too. I kind of, with what Charlie said, made me believe that Hulkenberg would stay more because I don't know. He's also put together a pretty good season. He's had a few like really, really good qualifying performances. I don't know. I just don't see much of a change happening. So yeah.
Would you guys like to use one of your three, I guess, second picks in this one?
No,
I don't
I'll
think so.
stay.
All right, great. So those were y'all, I guess, two picks for Haas. So our next team is AlphaTauri. So right now, of course, we have Daniel Ricciardo and Yuki Tsunoda in those seats. So do you guys think that next year those two drivers will be in the same seats, or maybe it'll pick up like another driver like Liam Lawson, anything like that?
So I'm gonna say that Yuki stays, and then I'm gonna say that I'm gonna use one of my double choices on Ricardo. I'm gonna say that it's either Ricardo, and then if something happens to him or something happens to Perez, then I'm gonna say that Liam Lawson could pick up that seat. So I'm gonna say Yuki's staying, and then Ricardo's staying. But if not Ricardo, if he like for whatever reason takes that Red Bull seat, which I think is very doubtful, but I got 3 more picks left, and so I'm just going to use it and say Lawson.
Can I use like 2 of my things for both of these seats?
So you can, but remember that if you do use two, you only have one remaining for the last two teams.
I got you. So I'm going to use 2, and I'm going to name 4 drivers, and I think it's going to be Yuki and Daniel, and then Liam Lawson, and then I'm also going to throw in there that American guy, Colton Herta, and I know that AlphaTauri wanted him last year, but then Sargent ended up kind of filling that we want an American driver void. But I think that Herta is probably better than Sargent, and if he does get enough like super license points or whatever, I could see him potentially getting that seat, just as well as a guy like Liam Lawson perhaps. So yeah, I'm gonna say those 4. I don't know if Ricardo, we'll see if he even wants to remain in that seat by the end of this year. And then Tsunoda, one of those two, Tsunoda or Ricardo, could get promoted to Red Bull, and I don't know. We'll see.
All right.
What are your guys' thoughts on Iwasa? Because we know he won Rookie of the Year in F2 last year. He's a part of the Red Bull Junior team. Do we think that he could come into AlphaTauri, perhaps with Honda's backing, or are we just going to stick with Lawson and Herta?
I can say that I'm not very I don't know a ton about the drivers in like Formula 2 other than the ones who are winning and doing well. But I don't know. I've heard more about I've heard about both, but I feel like I've just heard Lawson more, and so I'm more inclined to choose him.
Yeah, I feel like Lawson would probably get the seat over Iwasa, but with Herta, I don't really know how the two would compare. Like, obviously, Herta's an IndyCar driver, so he's probably racing in a, I guess, kind of a similar, but more, I don't know, a higher class than F2. But he's not, like, dominating or anything. I think that sometimes the best driver doesn't always get the seat, and I think it helps Herta that he's American, and the sport seems to try and branch out to its American audience more and more, and we'll see what happens to Sargent by the end of this year, because he's been not great, not terrible, but not the best. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with Herta over Iwasa.
All right, great. So Yeah, so Tim, you took Yuki and Ricardo. Your second pick for the seat was Lawson. And Charlie, you took Yuki and Ricardo as well, but your second picks were Lawson and Herta. All right, so our next outstanding seat is the one at Williams. So currently Alex Albon is signed on for 2024 at Williams. Who do you guys think will take that second seat? Will it be Logan Sargent or another driver?
I have a feeling like they're going to give Sargent another year, but because I still have 2 of my extra driver points, I'm not really sure who they'd pick up. I'm going to sort of have to think about that a little. I know that dude, I think is like Porsche. He's tearing it up in F2 right now. So I'll go with him. I think he's an Alpine driver. At least last I heard. But I wouldn't be surprised if they just picked up the top guy in F2 if they don't keep Sargent. But I don't know. I think they'll give him another year. I mean, obviously, if he just performs, has a De Vries type second half, then that won't happen. But yeah, so Sargent, if not him, I'll just go with Porsche.
So Tim, I believe that Porsche is part of Alfa Romeo's academy
Oh, really?
Yeah.
of
Okay.
Sauber. Yeah, I think so. So maybe you want to reconsider.
Yes, I do.
Why'd you tell
Hey,
me?
why don't you take Latifi? Well, I mean, it's like,
Bro, I ain't taking
all right,
Latifi.
fine.
Nah,
You shouldn't have told him that, Kenji. It's illegal helping from
What you mean illegal helping?
from
you
the
know what? Just because I picked it, I'll stick with him.
Mhm.
Honestly,
Okay, cool.
I think that Sargent will probably get another year. I mean, they gave Latifi more than 1 year, and with his shenanigans, they kept him. So I don't know. If he's an Alfa Romeo driver, then I don't know. Yeah, sure. I'll stick with him. I don't think it's gonna happen, especially given what you were saying. How long has he been an Alfa Romeo driver? I feel like he was Alpine back when he won F3.
That's a good question. I honestly don't remember because I know Porsche is French, so you'd think he'd be part of Alpine, but I don't remember honestly, so couldn't say.
Yeah.
I can look it up.
I'm looking it up right now.
So 2021, he was alongside Alpine. So maybe 2022.
Okay.
2022, he was with a Mercedes Junior.
Okay.
I honestly don't know. Yeah.
Okay, I'll stick with him. Though.
Cool. Yeah.
Sure. I mean, he's the top dude in F2 right now, so.
Williams, I'll just stick with Sargent. Realistically, I don't know if Herta will get into F1, and to be honest, I don't know. I don't think Sargent is that bad, really. I think he has some potential. If he seems to just make one little mistake, and then it kind of costs him dearly. And so, if he can get that sorted out, I think he can have a pretty solid end of the season. So I'll just stick with Sargent. I'm not going to use my other pick.
All right. And then
Great.
Alfa Romeo, right?
So, yes. So our last seat is the one at Alfa Romeo.
I don't know. I'm gonna say Joe or maybe they throw Schumacher back in there. I don't know. I know that he's a reserve driver at the time or for the moment, but I already picked Porsche for Williams, so I'll go Schumacher.
I'm going to say Joe and Porsche. Yeah, I think Porsche is pretty good. He'll probably be in F1 at some point. He was my teammate on my F122 my team thing, but and he consistently beats me, so it's pretty solid. Yeah, I'll go with Porcher if it's not Guan Yu Zhou. So I think Zhou's all right too. So that car
I
just
think
doesn't allow them to do almost anything. It's just really just mediocre at everything.
I think Zoe has like probably a very good chance of staying in because one, like his performances haven't really been like shocking, especially if you think back to I think it was Hungary when they qualified like super high up. And also like he's Chinese too, so given the direction the sport has been taking towards I guess branching out towards not only the United States but as well as like Asia and all those other regions and all the sponsorship money that Alfa Romeo gets from China, I think Zoe would probably be in that seat next year.
If they can give you money, the sport likes you.
Like Stroll,
Arabia.
who was Mazepin too.
Russia.
Mazepin had a lot of that Russian oil money. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
all right. So great.
There's our grid 2024. I don't think it's going to be a crazy, silly season. Potentially, if Perez gets booted, then chaos will ensue. But I think it'll just be some adjustments with the lower teams.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Y'all ready to move on?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've got my game set up if y'all want to do it.
Sounds good.
All right. So the topic, it's not really related to their performance on track. So I'm going to give you all the top 10, and you have to guess who has the top 10 amount of Instagram followers.
Whoa.
So it's basically a popularity contest. So I've got
all right.
this fun wheel that I made in. Can you see that, Kenji? You're the blue.
All right.
So I'm gonna say as to who picks first.
Bro, put in a lot of effort for this. All right, it's you,
Kenji. So if you pick someone in the top 3, it's 3 points. Someone in the top 5, it's 4 or 5, it's 2, and then 6 through 10 is 1 each. And then.
All right, so I just like pick someone who like I think has a lot of Instagram followers.
Yes.
So my first pick. Yeah. All right. So let's cue the music. All right. So in my first pick, I'm going Lewis because I know he does a lot of activism outside the sport. He's like he sports BLM, and he's one of the most successful drivers in Formula One in the history of the sport. So I think I'll go Lewis. He'll probably be first. But
Lewis Hamilton is first by a mile with 34 million Instagram followers.
Dang.
All right.
I am going to go with. I'm just going to go with Max Verstappen. He's got to be on there somewhere.
Max Verstappen is number 3 with 10.1 million.
Okay.
All right. So my pick, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with my pick, I'm going to go Charles because we know he's at Ferrari. Ferrari is like one of the most popular teams. He's won a lot. He's the number 1 driver in Ferrari. I think if he's not second, he's definitely within the top 5.
Charles Leclerc is number 2 with 11 point something. So that the top 3 is off the board.
Okay. Yeah, those are the 3 obvious ones.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with Lando Norris.
Lando Norris is number 6 with 6.6 million Instagram followers.
Okay.
So that's 4 for Charlie, 6 for you, Kenji.
All right. So for my next pick, I'm going to go with Ricardo because he was at Red Bull. He's very, very popular. He drank from the shoes. I know he was away from the sport, but people don't really unfollow people on Instagram. At least I don't. So I think he'll probably be number 4 on that list, or maybe number 5.
Daniel Ricciardo is number 4 with 8.5 million.
Yeah, I knew that my guess was. I remembered Ricardo like the second after I said Norris. Fuck. All right. I'm going to go with Sergio Perez because I was in Mexico last year and the amount of like billboards and stuff on like he has a deal with like their like cellular service provider where he just like has a poster on every single telephone pole. Basically, it's just crazy. Like Perez is everywhere in Mexico City, so I'm gonna go with Perez.
All right. Sergio Perez is sitting down at number 8 with 6 million.
Okay.
So y'all have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 8 off the board.
I honestly thought Checo would be more than that. So if I was picking, I'd probably pick Checo too because of how popular he is in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Just look at last year and stuff. But ooh, this is a hard one. This next one. I'm thinking about taking. So Ferrari is very popular in the sport. So I think the next one would probably be Sainz because he drives for Ferrari and he's from Spain. You know, F1's very popular in Spain as well, just like it is in Mexico. So my guess is that Sainz is probably in the top 10.
He's number 5 with 7.4 million. So Kenji, you have been tearing it up. Charlie?
All right, I don't think I can win anymore, but I'm gonna go with Valtteri Bottas.
Valtteri Bottas is number 11. He is not on this list.
Just like in every race. All right.
I think the next one will either be. So Mercedes is very strong. So Russell might be on that list. It's either Russell or Alonso. Because Alonso's, we know he's very popular in Spain. He's a world champion, taking a lot of wins. But just because Russell's at Mercedes right now, I think I'm going to go with Russell.
Russell's number 9. So y'all got number 7 and number 10 left.
Oh, sorry, it's Charlie.
I'm gonna go with Guan Yu Zhou.
It's a good pick, actually. But
he doesn't even.
Tim is smiling, so
he's one of like 2 or 3 without a million. So.
Oh my
Chinese
God,
people,
dude.
the people of China. What are we doing?
All right, go Kenji. We got 7 and 10 left.
Follow your boy.
Yeah.
Well, I said Alonso last time, so I think Alonso is going to be on. That's going to be my pick.
He's number 7 with 6.1.
Following that old ass Alonso. What is he even posting? Like, all right, I don't even know at
10.
this point, dog. Let's go with who do the girls think is hot? That's my new strategy. I'm gonna go with Albon.
Albon is not in the top 10.
Hey, I want to pick Albon too.
All right.
Can I look up the list of like drivers?
My strategy has
Here.
gone wrong of picking
Tell me what drivers we don't have right now. Like we didn't pick.
both Haas, both
All right.
Alpha or Sonoda,
yeah. So
both Alpine,
So
Stroll,
it's Ocon and
right
yeah,
now,
Gasly.
Sonoda.
Yeah.
Ooh, Gasly might be the one because he's
What,
taken
number
away.
10?
Oh,
Number 10 is
Number
left?
10 is left. Yeah. What's your final answer?
I don't have a final answer.
Oh,
Sorry. Was that all the drivers we had? Like that are
Yeah,
all
it's just the Williams, AlphaTauri minus Ricardo, Haas, and then Alpine.
Well, Okay, so I think it's probably one of the two Alpines because they're both very popular. They've won. They're from France, which we know is a massive country. Um, it wasn't Albon, which he was at Williams, so it doesn't matter. But to be honest, I don't really like Ocon. I think he's kind of an idiot sometimes, and I don't like how I still have beef over how I'm so salty on how he crashed into Max in Brazil a couple of years ago. So from a popularity standpoint, I think it's going to be Pierre, especially considering his ties with Honda a couple of years ago. He probably got a lot of the Japanese following just from Toro Rosso, AlphaTauri. Winning in that AlphaTauri was a big moment as well. So I'm gonna go with Gasly for number 10.
Pierre Gasly is number 10 on the list. So Kenji, congratulations, you won the F1 social media ranking game. And I think
Charlie, I own you in like every single game.
I think we can move on to the final games.
Charlie, what are your thoughts on like me sweeping your?
You went for the approach of
Hold up, it's not on.
You went for the approach of picking the bigger teams. That was probably smart. I was going for more like your whole country is behind you. You're the only driver from a country.
I think Sargent has like the least amount of followers.
Well, I was thinking of Joe and Bottas and whoever's dumbass I'd also picked that wasn't in there.
Bottas was close, but
Well, yeah, but like Chinese people, what are we doing? Like, follow your boy. Come on.
I mean, honestly,
Actually, it might be
I think picking first.
Country, I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. I think like picking first was like a good kind of gave me the strategy to win. So I mean, fair play, Charlie. You had a lot of picks that I would have taken. Like I probably would have taken Zoe because we know how many people are in China. So
Yeah, pick
fair.
Albon.
I mean,
He's got like dual nationality or something.
Albon had a lot less than I expected. I thought he would be there, but he wasn't.
well, he's not really like he's more of like a quiet guy in my opinion. But if I was in that position, Charlie, I would have taken Albon because he's very popular in the sport. He's one of the 2019 rookies, which we know were very popular. He raced at Red Bull, so yeah, I think just picking first gave me a chance to win. So yeah, fair play, Charlie. Good game.
All right,
Yeah, good game.
On to the
All
next
right.
game.
My game, if you watched last week, I did this just for Kenji, but now we're going to do it with both Tim and Kenji here. So how it works is basically I went through all the way back to 2010 season, which is when the new point system was introduced where it was 25, 18, 15, 12, 10, so on, for the top 10 finishers. So last week I asked Kenji to name which each team on the grid's best season points-wise was. So this time it's going to be which was their worst season to date. And we're going to start off with Haas. Should be pretty obvious, but since 2016, what has been Haas's worst season?
Since 2016.
And that's when they started, so that's as far back as they go.
Well, I know they scored at least once this year. It might be 2020.
This time it doesn't include this season.
It doesn't.
So
Okay.
last time it did, this time it does not.
Okay. So they started in 2016.
This might be the easiest one there is.
Can I go?
Yeah. Or wait. No. How should we do this? Just like who gets it first, probably? Yeah. If you got it, just shout it out, I guess.
Okay, I'm going to go with 2021 maybe.
Yeah, 2021.
Because they were really bad.
2021 is correct.
Because it was Mazepin and Schumacher. Okay.
They were
yeah.
freaking 54 seconds off the pace in qualifying, so.
What happened in 2020? How many did they have in 2020? Because I know that's abbreviated.
2020 they had like 10 maybe, or like a very low amount. But
Okay.
all right, moving on. We've got the Alpha Tauri team. What has been there? And Toro Rosso going back to 2010.
So they were probably pretty good.
Does this in-
oh shoot, I don't even know.
So does this include 2010? Is
Yeah.
it inclusive of 2010?
Yes.
Okay.
They
So
started in
I'm thinking-
2009, I think. Or maybe
Yeah.
2008.
No,
2008,
because
yeah.
Vettel won in 2008.
Yeah, 2008
So-
was their first year.
So who were their drivers in
Their
the early
drivers
10s? It was
were-
like Alguersuari
The
and
drivers were
Buemi, right?
Sebastian Buemi and Jaime Alguersuari.
Alguersuari, right? So Alguersuari is the guy who held up Weber in 2010. So I'm gonna go. I don't know. It's one of those early years. I feel like I'm gonna go
You can
2010.
guess
Just
and like win.
Yeah, I know.
What did you say?
You said 2010.
2010.
2010 is correct.
Oh damn! Really?
Man,
Yeah. Let me look up how many points they had.
There was like
They were
the 20.
13 points. They were the worst team to score points. They only beat Lotus and HRT and Virgin. So
Alguersuari, I remember like during Abu Dhabi that year, he was like holding up Mark Webber for like the whole race,
yeah.
even though, yeah, it was,
All right.
right.
Next up, we've got Alfa Romeo / Sauber. Going back to 2010.
it's just I don't really care about Alfa Romeo, so
hmm
Tim, this is your chance.
Yeah. No, I'm trying to think. Does 2020 count?
Yes.
I'll go with 2020.
Does this?
2020 is not correct. They had 8 points.
So does this include Sauber?
Yes, it does.
It does, right? In the mid 2010s, they were kind of bad. So I'm trying to figure out a year I want to pick.
And we'll do it so it like alternates. So if you get it wrong, then Tim will go again. So.
All right, so I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go 2015.
2015 is incorrect. They had 36 points for 8th place.
What am I doing?
36.
All right.
All right. So I really don't know much or anything about Sauber around that time. I think it's probably before 2015. I'm gonna land on 2013.
2013, they had 57 points for 7th place. Sauber Ferrari team.
All right, let's go 2015.
You just guessed that.
Yeah, you guessed that.
What?
You just guessed 2015 last time.
Sorry, what am I talking about? 2014, bro.
2014, new regulations. Sauber was 10th place with 0 points. That is correct.
I went
Oh
down
my
too
God.
far. All
They
right.
were also really ass in 2017, but they got 5 points.
Okay.
I remember that because I had the
Well, what about 2016?
2016. They had 2 points,
Oh, okay, so they did.
and then 2017
Yeah,
they were
all right.
shit too. So, next up we've got Williams.
It was either 2019 they were bad, but 2020 was the abbreviated season, so I'm gonna go 2020.
2020 is correct. 0 points. 2019 they got 1.
Wait, what? Oh, was it in Germany?
2019 they had 1 point.
It was in Germany, right? Was
I
it
don't know,
Kubica who
but
scored?
Probably.
Okay.
Probably was.
2021 2021 was the year Russell kind of broke out. I think.
They got the Hungary double points chaotic race with Latifi.
Yeah, and I think they got Belgium too
He
with
got
Russell.
a podium in that thing.
Yeah, with the half points.
Yeah.
Nonsense.
Next up, we've got Alpine/Renault. I'm not including Lotus this time, so it's just Renault, which includes, I believe, 2010, 2011, and then 2016 onward.
All right. Well, I know it's not 2010 or 2011
Yeah.
because then Charlie wouldn't be so uncertain about it.
2010, 2011, they were Renault, and then they partnered with Lotus, and then 2016 Lotus stopped and Renault restarted, and then now they're Alpine. I think that's the storyline. I don't know for sure.
So I'm pretty sure it's not. Sorry.
I'm going to go with 2018.
2018 is incorrect. They had 4th place with 122 points.
Right. So I'm going to go 1 year before. Well, no, it was 2017. When did Renault come back? 2016?
2016.
Okay, so I'm going to go 2016 because probably they're I don't really know that much about Renault except that Ricardo raced there, so
I'm going to go.
I don't even know the drivers. 2016 maybe?
Good.
Sorry.
I'm going to go 2010.
Kenji's correct, 2016.
I thought you said
2010 was good. 2010 was when
2010
Petrov was there.
2010 was
The Russian
Petrov
dude?
and Kubica, I believe.
Yeah.
Renault was
Petrov
really
the GOAT.
They had who's that dude? Jolyon Palmer and somebody else. It wasn't
Palmer's the guy.
It was somebody. Who was it? Now I want to know. I just watched a video on it. It was
Palmer's the guy who cut the chicane at Monza, right? When Alonso had that radio message.
I'm not sure, honestly.
Okay, that's fine.
Magnussen was also in that car. Kevin Magnussen and Jolyon Palmer. All right. Moving on to, I believe, McLaren. Yeah, McLaren. What do we got?
McLaren, when they were with Honda, they were super bad. So it's either when they had McLaren or Honda, it was 2014 to 2017, so something like that. So I'll just take a guess and go 2015. I don't know, because everyone was bad during 2015.
Is correct.
Okay.
Jenson
I got
Button
lucky.
and Fernando Alonso getting 27 points.
Oh, that's right. Button was part of McLaren. That's weird. You would think that Button would get a lot more points because he's very experienced, but because Van Dorn was there in 2018. Anyway.
All right. Next up, we got the Force India / Racing Point / Aston Martin team.
I don't know that much, honestly.
I don't know anything.
This goes
Random
to 2010.
2017.
Incorrect.
No, because they were good with Ocon and
Bro,
Perez.
I don't know.
2017
anything
they
about
were
that team, bro.
2017 they were 4th place.
Yeah, they were good. I'm going to go 2011.
2011 is incorrect. They had 6 points for 69 points for 6th place with Adrian Sutil and Paul di Resta.
Oh, it's a commentator.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really know anything about this team, so I'm just going to throw out 2013.
2013 is incorrect. 6th place, 77 points.
Let's go 2010 because I know they were bad at the start of the decade.
2010 is incorrect. 7th place, 68 points with Adrian Sutil and Vietantonio Luizzi.
I'm just gonna fill in the gap
Bruh.
and go 2012. We already guessed everything around
2012
that.
is incorrect. 109 points with 7th place.
So what years have we guessed?
We've guessed
2010 to
2010,
2013.
2012, maybe 2013, and
then
2018.
2017.
Let's
2018.
go.
Right.
No, 2017. 2017.
So this includes Racing Point, right?
Yes.
Well, 2019 they were kind of bad with Perez. It's either 2013 or 2019. I know if I'm wrong, it's gonna be Tim getting that, but I'm gonna go 2019.
2019 is incorrect. 7th place, 73 points for Racing Point.
So we already guessed 2013. So, it wasn't the shortened season because. Wait. The second Bahrain Grand Prix where Perez won.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit.
So y'all have guessed 2017, 2019, and then 2010 to 2013, right?
Yes. Wait, was there two Bahrain? Was that 2020 or 20?
That was 2020, I think.
Yeah. So it wouldn't have been.
Because that was when Grosjean crashed.
Yes. I doubt it would be that. I really got no idea. I'm just gonna go 2014.
2014 is incorrect. 6th place.
Bro, we are so
155
sorry.
points for Force India.
Just start off. Just name random.
Wait.
At this point.
Hold on, which teams does this include again? Racing Point, Force India,
and Aston Martin.
Oh, I don't feel like Aston Martin is. And Aston Martin joined 2021, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
With Vettel and. Yeah.
So 2021, Vettel got that podium in Baku. So if it's not any of the other years, it's probably 2022, since it's not including 2023.
2022 is your guess?
Yes.
2022 is the second worst year with 55 points, but there is still one that is worse. They got 7th place.
Oh, this game is so rigged, dude.
It's just like history, and I don't know.
Are you sure?
I am sure.
That's what year are we missing?
You've done what? 2010 through 2014.
2017, 2019, 2022. So
I don't even remember.
I don't even know. Like, I started watching in 2020, and I don't know much about this team at all. You know that Checo won.
Might as well just start guessing random years we don't have.
2021.
I'm stumped. I don't know.
2021 is like one of their best years. It's
Yeah,
not
I
bad.
know.
It's when Vettel got the podium.
Yeah, but like the year before, I'm lost. I don't really know.
All right, we're down to
So-
15, 16, and 18, I think?
And 20.
And 20.
Yeah.
15, 16, and 18.
And 20.
So for 2018, do you count like both of those like teams when they did the freaking split?
Yeah.
Because I know they were. So both of those right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I mean 2018 because they were good in Belgium, but then
2018
fell off. I
is
don't know.
correct. I don't exactly know what happened with the split thing, but there is one Force India team that got 0 points, which I assume is what it was initially called, and then another Force India team got 52 points.
Wait, hold on. How many did?
Which I assume
how
is
many
when
points did-
Racing Point kind of started buying it, but it had to be called Force India for the rest of the year or something.
All right.
Really?
Cool. Moving
I
on.
don't know how that happened, dude. Because to be honest, that's
I don't understand the
They did good in Belgium. They were like 4th and 5th. How did they
well,
get
they
like?
got 52 points, so they must have been ass the rest of the year. Who was even driving for these bozos?
Ocon and Perez.
Well,
All right, moving
got
on.
3
All right.
more Mercedes. What is
Mercedes.
Mercedes worth?
Ooh, Mercedes.
So not any of these they won or. Oh wait. I'm gonna.
Let's go 2012 because they were like, that was when Red Bull was dominating stuff. McLaren was so good. I think it was Schumacher driving in 2012. Sorry about the dog in the background, but I'm gonna go 2012.
2012 is correct. 5th place, 142 points.
Cool. Moving on.
Red Bull. Red Bull's worst year.
So they were good 2010, 2013. That was when they won the championship.
I'm gonna
Ooh.
go 2015.
Yeah, 2015 is probably either that or 14. But I think it's going to be 15.
2015 is correct. Tim gets a point. Woohoo.
Bro,
Gets it on Kenji's
you won my home
team,
turf.
too, yeah.
Yeah.
Red Bull, 4th place, 187 points. Behind Williams. Crazy.
All right, moving on.
And finally, Ferrari. It's Ferrari's worst year.
2020.
Yes.
I've been thinking about this one. 2020.
2020.
Right?
I'm not sure how close it was, but I don't think it was very close. 6th place. 131 points for Ferrari that year.
Dang. All right. Well, fair play, Kenji. You're just more knowledge. You just have more knowledge of the sport. So.
Yeah, I mean, I've been watching for a longer time. So, I mean, you did, like.
Force India, the greatest team ever.
I got one. I'm happy with that.
You got Red Bull, dude.
Yeah. I got your team, so that should count as a win.
Yeah. We love Force India. Bring back Force India again.
For real. Bring back Virgin.
Bring back Virgin Racing. What a team. All right. Yeah, I should have included them. They got 3 straight years of 0 points, so y'all would have had to guess by which position they would have gotten.
Sounds like a bunch of virgins.
Yeah, oh god. All right. Thank you guys for listening. We're gonna try and keep the content up throughout this summer break to keep you all entertained. Yeah, thank you guys for listening. We'll be back hopefully soon, and with another episode, probably previewing the second half of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you guys for listening, and goodbye.